Hi everyone, due to all your inquiries and questions, I've decided to do this next segment. It's about unlawful behaviour by the police and government, and I want you to all know your rights because it's taken a lot of work to learn all this information. Now, number one, do you know that the police use a particular language to trap you and make you submit and make you feel below them? It starts with the blue and red flashing lights. When they turn them on, what it does, it activates mechanics in your body, which makes your heart race and beat fast, makes you feel like you've done something wrong. That's the first stage of their activation. The second one is their language. They use legalese, which is a type of entrapment language. If you ever heard them say, "Do you understand?" It's meaning that they stand above you, yet all people were created equal. So from now on, I want you to amend that. You comprehend a whole lot of things, but you don't understand anything because you don't stand under them. And I want to make that really clear. The police are public servants and the government are meant to be public servants. But since they've made so much money from everyone, they've become out of control and we've turned into a dictatorship on a global level. So what I'd like you to do is focus on these points. I'm going to go through them bit by bit, and then at the end, I'm going to let you know that coming up in the next segment, I'm going to give you all a document, a notice for free. I usually charge $880 for it, but I'm going to start to give out these documents free just to help people. A lot of people are struggling, they can't afford it. So I'm going to support you in that way, and that's the document where you're able to put a power of attorney over your birth certificate. So you can reclaim your securities. The next area I want to say is a lot of people have been getting a lot of fines, and I've had so many inquiries how to deal with that. I'll do a segment on notice writing and how you can submit a notice in order to trap them at their own game. And I'm going to work through that bit piece by piece, and that leads me to the next space, which is when they try to give you a fine, they're now using coercion. If you don't accept it, they're going to take you to prison. So you need to accept it, but under these terms. Make sure you're recording the video and say, "I'm going to accept this, but only as evidence to use in a court of law." That way, you actually have not accepted it as a fine that you've done something wrong. Let's be clear that doing something wrong is harming another person or stealing. Now, they've been clearly doing that to me. They've stolen my own private plates, which haven't been in contract with any government department. Now, be clear that when you register your vehicle, you hand over your vehicle to the government. That's why they can now seize your vehicles. So we're creating a solution for this. And I tell you what, it's the most exciting solution I've ever seen. There's a big group of people working on it. And I'm going to notify you all about how you can resolve that issue once and for all. But it doesn't mean you can break the law. It just means that you'll be free from the system and coercion and a monopoly, which shouldn't be taking place right now. So I'm going to move on to the next step. Some of the things that the police are saying when they pull you over, they're using ignorance. Now, ignorance is no excuse. And what they say to me is, "It's above my pay grade." I'm saying, but no, that's not okay. It's above your pay grade because not knowing the law is no excuse. You can't just write out a fine because you don't understand it. So they're now just writing out a fine. They're stealing my number plates, which are privately owned, and they're saying that it's above their pay grade. Well, if it's above their pay grade, learn your job or don't do your job. Because if we know more than you, then you really should get off the road. I want you'd understand the difference between sovereignty and a citizen, because you're all being called sovereign citizens now because it's come from above, leaked through the police station, and they've put it into the media to try and target everybody who's actually learning about the law and everything they're doing wrong. Now, whenever they call me a sovereign citizen, I laugh and I go, you know how stupid you sound right now, like a puppet who's been told what to do by someone above you? A sovereign is free. A citizen is a slave. Now, the two can't go together. They say, "Oh, so what are you, Grant, if you're not a sovereign citizen?" I says, "I'm free. I've got a power of attorney over my birth certificate." And that's my point about talking about this segment. I want you to be able to protect your property. Now, under UCC law, you can, by putting a power of attorney over your birth certificate, getting your UCC, and putting a lien over yourself for $60 million, which means they have to satisfy that before they can touch any of your property. And I'm going to cover that in depth later on as well. This is all a big lead up. So the gift that I'm giving you is an $880 document for your birth certificate in the next segment. And I'm going to cover them. And any questions you have, keep sharing online because everyone's learning. I know a lot of you are really smart out there. You know a lot about this stuff. Let's just keep sharing and keep putting all the great questions in, and then I will deliver. And then in the next segment, I will get you the links in order to get your power of attorney document for over your birth certificate. Have a good day. Talk soon.